I'm a little tired. Uh, but that's what I had planned for today. That's what I had planned for today. Let's put my mic a little closer. Yeah, so I just thought I'd stream a bit of visual novel today. I'll have to take a break and get some water later because I don't have water with me here right now. But yeah, I was just gonna read through a bit of Everlasting Summer. It's been on list of games I want to play. I mean, like, I feel like, what, in terms of, like, visual novels that are, like, really, really, really popular, like, everybody knows Doki Doki Literature Club, and they'll always, like, that's, like, the one to play. Now, I played it too, so, but, I don't think a lot of people know about, well, at least, from what I hear, like, I don't hear, like, Everlasting Summer talked about as much. People still talk about it, but, like, apparently this has like a similar kind of twist. I don't know, but I've never seen anything about it. I think I watched like a video on it once, and I was like, wow, I should play this game, and then I just never did. Also, what was it? I kind of forgot about the contents of the video, so in a way, I've like unspoilered myself. Anyways, it should be fine. And I just want to get some like kind of just I just want to like read stuff aloud. I'm in that kind of mood today. But yeah, I might stop. I'm kind of big silly, didn't bring water with me, so I might have to stop, like, or BRB just get water. But you know, anyways. Just get everything set up. And there we go. Nice. Oh, there's a little bit of... Okay, cool. Obviously, we'll be playing in English. Can you understand anything else? Don't. Wait. Why is it freezing? Okay, we're good. Do you accept the terms of this concerning this game? You may not use the material for commercial purposes. If you remix, transform, or build upon the material, you must distribute. Oh yeah, I mean, of course. Okay. Anyways. This game is a work of fiction and its author's imagination. It does not aim to offend, insult, or discriminate anyone on a religious, social, economical, species, or any other basis. Any violation of the player's aesthetic sensitivity, active citizenship, or any other spiritual impulse lies on their conscience. Any resemblance of the characters to your real or imaginary friends, neighbors, colleagues, tulpas is entirely coincidental. All the heroines are of 18 years old and have confirmed their consent on participating in this game in written form. An excerpt from the screenwriter's medical history can be provided on demand. The game does not contain any propaganda of voluntary or not ending one's life. Not a single mascot, animal, or human was hurt during the creation of this game. Happy reading. Oh, why do they always gotta put these things in the beginning? Like, I know you have to because of the disclaimer, but oh jeez. Okay, we're just gonna pretend we didn't read this actually. I mean, we're pretending because I don't know, we can't pretend because then that'd be I can't read that, but it says everlasting summer. Oh, there's music in this game. Skip scene. Okay. Gallery. Obviously there's nothing in the gallery. Let me know if the music's too loud. Hopefully not. Okay. There we go. Actually, I will get the water after all. Just give me a moment, give me a moment. Okay. Okay, back. Back. Okay, yeah, no, I'm back. So I had to get water because there's gonna be a lot of reading. Okay. Let's go through this. Yeah, obviously it's not the same game. We'll go through at least one route today before we finish. I was having that dream once again. That dream. Same thing every night. But it's all forgotten in the morning, as usual. Maybe it's for the best. Only a glimpse of memory will remain, of gates half opened, as if inviting me somewhere with two frozen stone pioneers standing close by. And also that strange girl who keeps asking me, will you come with me? Come? But where? And why? And where am I anyway? Of course it all happened in real life. If it all happened in real life, I would certainly have been scared. Well, what else would one expect to feel? But this is just a dream. The same one I see every night. There must be a reason. You don't have to know where or why to realize something is really happening. Something desperately seeking my attention. Since everything that surrounds me here is real. As real as things on my own flat. I could open the gates, hear the hinges creak, brush the crumbling rust away with my hand, inhale the fresh, cool air and shiver from the cold. I could, but to do that, I'd need to pick myself up, take a step, move my hand. But this is a dream. I understand that. But what of it? What does my understanding change? Because here, it's just like on the other side of the cracked screen of an old TV, which struggles to fight against static noise and strives to show its audience everything without missing a single detail. But the picture is getting blurry. I must be waking up soon. Maybe I should ask her something? The girl. What's her name? About the stars, for instance. Why the stars, though? I'd rather ask about the gates. Yes, the gates. She'd be so surprised. Or better, why the dot over and I was called... What? What is... Or better, why the dot over and I was called a tittle, but the dot over a J was called a superscript. Wait, what intonation is going on? Nice letters. Huh? I had a little bit of a stroke there. As if they don't exist anymore. Still, what do letters, gates, and stars have to do with this place? Because even if I'm having this dream every night, which will be forgotten soon anyway, I've got to look for answers here and now. And there. If you look carefully, you can see the Magellanic Clouds. Definitely picture that word. As if I'd ended up in the southern hemisphere. In a dream, there are small things that catch your attention. An unnatural color of grass, impossible curves of straight lines, or your own distorted reflection. While the real danger, which could put an end to everything right here and now, seems trivial. It's natural, since here you cannot die. I know it for sure. I've done it hundreds of times. But if you cannot die, is there a point in living? So true. I should ask the girl. She's a local. She should know. Yes, exactly. I should ask her about the owl, for example. One strange bird it is. Though it doesn't matter. Will you come with me? And every time I have to answer. It's the only way. Otherwise the dream will never end and I'll never wake up. Wait, I can't. How do I save? No. Oh, okay. Oh, I have to press save the game again. Okay. Well, you know, we're in a dream, of course. We have to go. We're not. Yeah. Every time it's so hard to decide on the answer. Where am I? What am I doing here? Who is she? And why does so much of my life depend on this answer? Or maybe it doesn't? It's just a dream after all. Oh goodness gracious, man. Just a dream. If I answered no, would it still... Oh, yo, POV, it's me! It's me this morning at, like, 5 a.m.? Okay, I'm not unfortunate, though. Why is this guy looking up? What's that? Lazy Town? What intonation? Ooh. The computer screen stared at me as if it was alive. I guess, yep, we're just chilling. Ooh, I'm blinking. Sometimes it really did seem to me that it was conscious of itself, had its own thoughts and wishes, ambitions, that had feelings, could love and suffer. As if in our relationship, the screen wasn't an instrument. It was me who was a lifeless piece of plastic and textilite. There is some truth in that. Probably because the computer provides 90% of my communication with the outside world. Anonymous image boards, some chats from time to time, rarely ICQ or Jabber, and forums even more rarely. People on the other end of the internet cable simply do not exist. It's a little dangerous. Okay. All of them are simply creations of its sick imagination, an error in the source code, or a kernel bug, which started living a life of its own. What's going on? Oh, I'm looking at the ceiling. I don't like this image, man. If one looked at my existence from the outside, such thoughts would seem crazy, and a psychologist would surely give me a bunch of sophisticated diagnosis and maybe write me a doctor's referral to the loony bin. I guess why that's the thing in the beginning. Oh yes, I can provide my medical note. I'm totally fine. Creator of this game, totally fine. I feel some urge to look at my ceiling now. A small apartment with no signs of repair or any semblance of order in it, and always the same view out the window on the great megalopolis, running somewhere day and night. Such are the conditions of my life. Well, of course it didn't all start like this. I was born, went to school, finished it, like all the others. I was accepted at a university, where I spent a year and a half trailing behind, struggling. I drifted through several jobs. Sometimes it was working out quite well. Sometimes I was even getting decent money for it. But it all felt like it was not mine, as if taken from another man's biography. I wasn't living life to its fullest. It was looping over and over in monotonous circles. Like in the movie Groundhog Day. It's just that I had no choice in how to spend my day, and every day repeated itself. The same vicious spiral. A spiral of emptiness, misery, and despair. Oh, this is getting, I see, interesting. For the last few years, I just sat in front of the screen all day. Sometimes there were menial jobs. Sometimes my parents helped me. All in all, I was able to provide for myself. No wonder really, since my needs are quite minor. Hardly ever leave my home, and my communication with other people almost exclusively consists of online correspondence, with the anonymous who have no real name, no gender, no age. So, in brief, a quite typical life of a quite typical antisocial person of his time. All like most of us today. Kind of Donnie Darko on a minor scale, without doomsday-related visions. Maybe some highly respected author will write a novel about me, and it'll become a contemporary classic of modern literature. Or I'll write one myself. However, what's the point of fooling myself? I tried many times, but couldn't even come up with a simple short story. I tried to learn many other things as well. Not gifted enough to draw, programming, got bored. Foreign languages takes too much time. The only thing I loved was reading, but still I never would have called myself a scholar. Perhaps I was an ace at watching anime and a grandmaster of lame internet jokes. If I were to get paid for it, I would probably be a happier person and a richer person too, but I doubt it'd fill the hole inside me. That's not summer, that's winter. I'm being skamazed. Today was another typical day of a typical failures, typical life. And today is the day when I have to go to my university reunion. Frankly speaking, I really didn't want to. What is the point? The time I spent with them was so short. However, I was persuaded by a friend, my former university mate, and one of the few with whom I kept in touch, other than through the internet. Just give me a moment. Okay. A frosty evening. Bus stop. Waiting. Oh, how a familiar sight for me, at least. I never liked winter. On the contrary, I actually do like winter. Just because, there's no, like, bugs or anything, I don't know. Also, it's easier to, like, kind of dress up warmer than it is to, like, take off. You can't take off clothes until, like, you're colder in summer, but you can, like, put on clothes until you're warm in winter. You know the logic. Anyways. Though hot summer is not my season either. It's just that I see no reason to point out any particular time of year. It doesn't matter much what the weather is outside when you stay at home 24/7. Yep, true. The bus today was running so late that I was about to curse it all and spend my last few hundreds rubles for a taxi. The idea of just returning home didn't cross my mind for some weird reason. As usual, millions of thoughts flew through my mind, but there was not a single useful one to seize on. Such a thought that you could bring into existence, give a shape, turn into an idea, put it into practice. Maybe I could start my own business? But where would I get the money from? I should put this on auto mode, actually. Which one is auto? Oops. Oh, yeah, it's load. Yo, where is auto mode? Alright, give me a moment. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I could start my own business, but where do I get the money from? I'll just do it manually. I can't really, I don't really know what the auto mode is. Maybe I could go back to working in an office. No. No way. Maybe I should try freelancing? But what skills do I have and who would want me after all? I suddenly remembered my childhood. Or rather, my teen years, the time when I was 15 to 17 years old. Why exactly those years? No idea. I guess it's because back then, everything was much more simple. It was easier to make decisions. So complicated now and so simple then. Waking up in the morning, I knew exactly how my day was gonna pass, and I always eagerly looked forward to the weekend. Then I could get some rest and have some time for the things I liked. Computer, football, going out with friends. And then, at the beginning of next week, I'd take up my studies again. Back then, there were no such worrying questions like, why? Who needs it? What will change if I do it? Or what will not change? A simple lifestyle, so casual for any normal person, and so odd to myself today. That careless childhood age. It was also then that I met my first love. Her appearance and personality have vanished from my memory. Only her name remains, like a brief line from a social network profile, along with the feelings which overwhelmed me when I was with her. Affection, tenderness, the desire to care for her and to protect her. Sadly, it didn't last long. Today I can hardly imagine something like that happening. I would probably like to meet a girl, but I don't know how to start a conversation, what on earth to discuss, and how to attract her. Well, I haven't met any suitable girls for a long time. But where can I meet one anyways? Oh, here comes the bus. Oh, finally. I'm waiting for like 20 years, man. The sound of an engine brought me back to reality. A bus pulled over. There's something abnormal about it, though, I thought. Then again, it doesn't matter. Only the 410 runs this route. Streetlights pass me by. It's as if the cold light sparks inside of me, trying to ignite feelings long dead. Or maybe not ignite, just awaken them. Yeah, this game's kind of hitting some tender spots. Because those feelings, they have been living in me for a long time, slumbering and waking up again. The driver's radio was playing some very familiar tune, but I wasn't listening to it. I was watching the cars passing by through the fogged up window. Because people are always rushing somewhere, chasing something they need, stuck in their own little worlds. Why do they care about mine? They probably have their own serious problems, or maybe they have much easier lives. You can't know for sure, since all people are different. Or are they? Sometimes someone's actions can easily be predicted, but if you try to look inside his soul, you'll only see impenetrable darkness. The bus was approaching downtown. My thoughts were interrupted by the bright city lights. Hundreds of billboards, thousands of cars, millions of people. I watched this light show and somehow I got terribly sleepy. My eyes closed just for a moment, and then oh, here we go. Isekai into a summer camp. I can't read Russian. I see. Okay. Yo, Miku? Muki. That's definitely not how you say that word. Oh, there's a thing at the front. Okay, well. Oh, isekai time, here we go. Day 1. Yeah, it feels so eerie to me though. Bright daylight struck my eyes. At first I didn't pay attention as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. Damn, looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. But there was no door. I looked around the bus and realized that it wasn't a good old worn out Leaz. Instead, the bus was an Icarus model. A new one. This guy knows his buses. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. I patted myself down feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, banged my forehead on the back of one of the bus seats. It's clear. Either I'm still alive, or you can still feel pain when you're dead. Terrible, terrible thought to imagine, actually. But how could this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and ended up at the bus depot? And then what? Did they put me into another bus? You know, it's actually pretty sound logic. Oh, I don't know about that, but soundish logic. I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery wherever I looked. Tall grass on the roadside. Trees. Flowers. Summer? But how? It was winter just a moment ago. My head was aching unbearably, as if it was gonna explode. Slowly I began to remember. A long road running off into the distance. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was sleeping, but then how can I remember all of it? And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She softly whispered something into my ear. And then a gap again. I should let me move the chat a bit. It's kind of blocking the thing here. There we go. Just don't want to block the text. Okay, we're good. And then I woke up here. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calm me down a little. I felt warmth all over coming from the inside. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped, hesitating over where to go. Finally, I ran in the direction from which the bus had probably came. That's like when I went hiking. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Thoughts become clearer and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Thoughts become clearer and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Oh yes, bus, yes. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat by gulping breaths of hot air. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Though recalling my self-harm on the bus, I immediately rejected the idea. I'm neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road ran through the field and far into the distance. The exact same road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. It's not just that it was winter yesterday and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Of course summer is usually like this, green and hot, but here everything is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artists of the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be, and they're so thick that you can't see anything through them. Like treetops, honestly. And the trees themselves? The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their ranks and were now just waiting for the order to advance into the fields and plains. I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, it means nothing at all. Couldn't they have power lines even in hell? Roasting sinners over hot coals? That's so last century. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I should pick the second option. I slowly headed back to the bus. Of course it was scary, but I'm not likely to find an answer in the fields or the woods, as this wretched bucket of bolts is the only kind of link I have with the real world. I should carefully scout the area. Sophielno means outlet. Okay. A brick wall and its gates crowned with a owl sign, statues of pioneers standing on either side, and a road sign nearly showing the bus route number 410. Nearby, oops. Also, yeah, it's the same gate, so, cool. The trip's taking a bit too long today. I smirked. A person may start acting inappropriately in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me now. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage to the walls. Owlet? What could have a name like that? judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kid's summer camp. Moreover, it appears to be open. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. The strange girl that altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly. From alien abduction to lethargic sleep. From a hallucination to a time and space shift. None was worse than any other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. Then it occurred to me. I could try and make a phone call. Took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. But instead of signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Alright, there may be no signal in such a remote place. Though I cannot be the only one who came here. Buses don't drive themselves. I examined the bus from all sides to make sure it wasn't a hallucination. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded paint, and worn out tires. No, there's definitely a very ordinary Icarus. Yeah, this bus is bussy. Yeah, exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came out by itself, sporadically. Because this wasn't the right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to have reached its peak, and I started to go slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone would have probably felt similar. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. There were so many things I had no time for yet. I was overwhelmed by the idea. This was definitely the end. But why? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. God, why? Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? But my cries were only heard by the speechless statues of the pioneers and a bird on a tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off, crying out something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its after-dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just lay quietly sobbing occasionally. Just a regular Friday afternoon. The pussy. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. My mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is this all for? It doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is just some crazy coincidence, then there's probably no threat. Anyways, for now, seems there's no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples and my hands were still shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there's nothing I can really change anyway. So no matter how much I think or how mad I get, it would only make things worse. Until some actual facts appear, there's really no point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging about here. This camp, if of course it really is a camp, looked like the only place where people could be, so I decided to go there, and hardly had I reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them, wearing a pioneer uniform. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform in the 21st century. And then again, a girl here. I froze, unable to take a step. I felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place. Far from this bus, gates, statues, and far from this bloody bird with its siesta. Just running, free like the wind, faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by, winking at the galaxies. Running, becoming a pulsar ray and turning into vestigial radiation, running to face the unknown. Run no matter where, as long as it is far away from this place. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Human instincts work independent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life and, in particular, ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking in formal quotes from an encyclopedia, though my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky, soft-cover crime fiction book. A pretty Slavic face, long braids that look like 2 armfuls of fresh hay, and blue eyes you could drown in. Oh, I don't know if I want to imitate a voice for this. I will butcher it so badly. Hi, you must have just arrived. Obviously I'm gonna apply. I'm not rude. Yeah. Alright then, welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange, it looked as if I had just a normal girl in front of me. I mean, that's what it is, isn't it? Bah, I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seem better. But what shall I do next? Try to speak with her as if she was a human, or run away, or what? The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside. A little bit more and the poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome contents of my skull. It's just a normal person. God, relax. What's so funny about that? The girl looked me over. Yeah, you don't want to hear SunWon girl noises. I'll just read normally. The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Nothing. Oh, yeah? Okay, yeah, okay, let's see here. I'll wait till she speaks. Great then. Nope, I'm not doing it. We can't hit that peak. Great, what's so great about that? Suddenly a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget about the bus behind me, the fact that it was just winter yesterday and summer today. I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept that all this was actually happening. Everything as it should be. All this is for the best. I did do it. I did it and it was terrible. Would you happen to know? You should go to our camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look, you go straight ahead to the square, then turn left. You'll see several small cabins. She pointed at the gates as if I knew what was behind them. Oh, here comes the explanation. Dmitrievna is a patronymic, a derivative of a person's father's name. In this case, Dmitri, put by Russians after the person's first name as a sign of respect or formal address. Oh, like, senpai. Or, something like that, I guess. Well, you can ask someone where Olga Dmitrievna's cabin is. Each girl better have a distinct voice. My voice acting skill is not, I've not reached that level yet. I, got it? Of course I didn't get it. Well, I've got to go now. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gates. It seemed as if to her I was something ordinary, and all this show with the bus and the travels were while awake or asleep were troubling only me, while everything here was just the way it was supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. What, are they doing a historical reenactment here? I hope I won't find Lenin standing atop an armored car in this square, but even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. The sign near the door said, "Clubs." I was about to come closer when the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering for the fate of the whole of mankind with a truly universal sorrow. Oh, Pog face? As soon as she saw me, the girl froze as if frightened. I froze too, considering what was the best to do. To approach first or wait until she showed some initiative. Or maybe run away after all. Hey, dude, don't run away. You've come this far. Yo, where's Lenin? Although this last option was constantly being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct, at least that's what I'd like to believe, not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical, if this instinct played poker against deductive abilities, the outcome would be predetermined. And those deductive abilities, or at least a semblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Oh, small girl? Suddenly, somebody jumped out of nearby bushes. A girl wearing a bright red t-shirt with the USSR written on it. It says CCCP, but okay. Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from a distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls, the one at the gates and this girl at the door of the clubs. Wait, is this Miku music? Yo! Crank that shit up! I don't even know what that means. Majored. I'll put that. At last, I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I called it in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something while wildly waving her arms. The other girl in turn seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I would have probably continued to observe their amusing dialogue, but the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of the first girl's face. This, something turned out to be a grasshopper. Yeah, that's... The first girl squealed. I was like, going for like a muscle man kind of scream there. She must not be too keen on insects, as she instantly rushed off towards the place where Lenin presumably made his speech about the workers' and peasants' revolution. That is to say, towards the square. The USSR girl glanced at me, grinned playfully, and dashed after her. Not a bad start to the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am besides that. There are some kids role-playing here as pioneers. And as far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seems so real, if a little embellished, that I started to think that in fact my previous life could have been just a dream. And what am I supposed to do now? I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and started staring aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. That's when I recalled myself rolling on the grass, weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it was another instinct when all energy for whimpering and self-pitying is used up. The body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seems to have chosen the second option because, the blue, I found the determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man. like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. I followed the path to the left, on the right side of which stood small cabins, apparently the homes of the local pioneers. Actually, they look quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I had never been part of its children's organizations, neither the pioneers nor even the younger October children. I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks, wake-up call at 6 o'clock, played by a siren, 1 minute to make your bed, then join the formation at the drill square. Oh wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Suddenly something struck me on the back. I staggered but remained on my feet, turned around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. But all I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise. Pick your jaw up from the ground. Up, off the ground? Oops. I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative. You are correct, main character guy, man, person. As, interesting the way she's wearing the uniform. Like all the girls I've met here before, but this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. Yo, my chat's question now, let's go! Like, oh, whoop. New here, are you? So I'm just not gonna say anything. Fine, see ya. She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. She didn't really look that threatening. I don't know what you're talking about. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. The most interesting thing was that even this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She didn't give off this feeling of some deadly danger. Except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. Yo, Lennon! Is it Lennon? At last I managed to make it to the square. There was no No! No, my immersion! There was no Lennon on an armored car, although one could easily expect something like that after all this had happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read, Genda. Must be some big figure in the party. There were some small benches at the sides. It's quite pleasant here. Where'd that girl tell me to go? To the left or to the right? To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Why am I going there anyway? Alright, I decided to pretend to be normal. So, to the right. Through a small grove. And I came out at a pier. I must have taken a wrong turn. Hey, wrong way! I turned towards the voice. Oh! Let's go! That first girl stood before me. Now what did I tell you? Take a left of the square, wasn't it? She had changed from her pioneer uniform into a bikini. Okay, okay! Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia? Slavia. Actually, my full name's Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia. Nice. It's real nice. So you can too. Oh, okay. Yeah. I still felt a bit confused, so I could not come up with more meaningful answers. And what's your name? It felt like she could see right through me. Yeah, I'm SunWon. Nice to meet you, SunWon. See, this is the part where I self-insert myself into this, sleeve of a character. Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait here a minute? I'm gonna change and we'll go to Olga. Dmitrievna together. Agreed? Agreed. After this exchange, she ran off. I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in such weather there was nothing wrong in getting my feet wet. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming and processing everything that has happened. If there's some kind of conspiracy, it's a weird one. Even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event. Some entirely incomprehensible random event. Shall we go? Yo, she changed at like light speed. Oh my god. Slavia was staying beside me, dressed in the pioneer uniform again. Let's go. I've been here for a very short time, but all the people I've met, she looks the least suspicious. Why would you think girls like this look suspicious? I don't even... However, this fact is already suspicious itself. Okay, cool. Everyone acting a little bit sussy. We walked into the square. The USSR girl and the girl who hit me on the back were there, chasing each other. Is that some kind of game they're playing? Ulyana, enough running. I'll tell everything to Olga Dmitrievna. Aye aye, Captain. I decided not to question Slavia for a while about what was going on or the local residents. Better meet with this mysterious Olga first. Sounds like she's the boss here. We walked past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which look like fat beer barrels, while others look more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of a smallish one-story cabin. It looked like an artist's painting. The faded paint, chipping here and there with age, was sparkling in the sun. The window shutters, slightly ajar, were swaying almost unnoticeably in the wind, and huge lilac bushes were growing at the sides. It seemed as if this ramshackle hut was drowning in a storm of purple silk, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the troop leader's house. What are you standing around here for? Let's go! Slavia slapped me out of my daydreaming. And stop teasing Lena already? Oh, Jesus. Lena? Sounds like there's someone inside. Indeed, a moment later the door swung open and Ulyana ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl came out next. Don't let it bother you, Lena. So her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Lena, at least. What is the joke here? I don't. But I don't. Instead of finishing her sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason, I felt like turning and following her with my eyes, but Slavia said, "Come." We entered the cabin. Inside looked like something similar to what I'd imagined. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt homelike and cozy, although this room was almost in the same state of disorder as my own flat. The girl staying near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. Okay! She's within strike range. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and a good body. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful. You're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga Dmitrievna. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you. I am SunWon. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer. We've been expecting you since early morning. You've been expecting me? Yes, of course. And when does the next bus come? Cause and why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? Guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I'd prefer. And I doubt that I get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Mailing address, I mean. I wanted to send a letter to my parents and tell them I got here fine. For some reason, I had the desperate idea that if I played along, I would find something out. Oh, but your parents called just half an hour ago. Sent their regards to you. Now that's a surprise. So can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. We're so boned. She gave me a sweet, spontaneous smile. She said no straight. No, you can't call your parents. Why not? We don't have a phone here. So you're just joshing me now. Also, I just realized there's this... I don't know if this has always been there, but that painting on the left is like really unsettling. I really don't like it. Then how can my parents make a call here? I've just come back from the district's central town. I talked with them there. Oh, yeah, so that's how it is. Also, I really don't want to keep looking at this painting. I hate it. It's like looking straight into me. And can I somehow get to the town? No. Oh, yes, of course. I can't get to the town either. Sick. She kept with the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I would get no answer anyway. No, why'd you keep asking? Come on, dude, you're like right there. Come on, sunk cost fallacy. All this time, Slavia was staying next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our conversation. Oh, we need to find a uniform for you. Yep, that's what's the point. I need a uniform. I've got absolutely no desire to put on pioneer shorts or wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in summer isn't a great idea either. Right. Thank you. Why do I have to point one out? Wait, what do you mean? Oh, you mean the painting? On the left? Yeah, yeah! Dude, look at that thing. Anyways, right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one who finds it strange that someone's wearing a coat and winter boots in such heat. Radio, I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening. Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. I ended up alone with Slavia. I must go too. I got things to do. You're so bad at lying. What do we have to do? What do we have to do? We're in the middle of nowhere. Take a walk, look around the camp a bit. Okay. Well, why don't you join me, Slavia? Wait. Oh no. There's Slavia talking. Up. Suddenly, I'm a clown. Yeah, just tell me to take a walk and look around the camp a bit. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea, Slavia. Thank you. See you in the evening. If there's no threat to or catch to this, then this reality, as embodied by Slavia, becomes more and more appealing. It's, nice little vacation. For the first time today, I realized I was awfully hot here. Contrary to right now, oh my god, I don't know. When I woke up today, it was like so cold for some reason. It's been hot the past few days, but now it's chilly. Actually, let me stretch. Could this scene be over so I can stop looking at this painting? Although obviously my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it into the bed. My pullover followed it. I was now wearing only the shirt. It's much better. All I could do now is follow their advice and go look around the camp. I'll try to find something out in the meantime. Okay, we're done with the painting. Passing the local residential district, I saw a pioneer guy coming my way. Wait, there's guys here? No, my immersion. No, dude. There's other guys here? Oh, that's so lame. And it really was a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there were men even in this kingdom of Amazons. Hello, you're new here. You must be SunWon, right? And how do you... Everyone knows already. I'm electronic. Yo! His name... Yo, this guy's name is sick. I'm electronic, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Electronic was a robot character appearing in a popular Soviet film and book series. He looked like an exact copy of a school kid called Sergei Cheezkov. Electronic. The real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Wait, oh, so there's like a character from a show. Oh, I'm getting baited, dude. This is like Astro Boy. All right. Olyana also calls me cheesy. Cheesy? On toast with mushrooms? Yeah, now I'm getting hungry. Okay, it doesn't make me hungry now. Because my last name's Cheezkov. I see. Let me show you around. I accepted his offer, as it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. We ended up at the square again. As if this place was all there is to this camp. Lena was sitting on one of the benches, reading some book. Electronic confidently approached her. Hello, Lena. Meet the new guy, SunWon. He stared briskly. Hello. Well, you could say we've already met, in a way. Yes. She looked away from the book for a moment, glanced at me, blushed, and went back to reading, as if not noticing that we were still here. Alright, let's go on. I was at first surprised that meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought that it was better that way. Electronic's vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Let's go. Oh, car? Next we came to a building, which I instantly identified as a canteen. And this here? Oh, I know. This is where you consume organic food. Oh my god, why is my character so cringe? Yeah, something like that. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. At the sight of her, my joking mood vanished in the blink of an eye. Really, now is not the best time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he is quite hilarious. First I need to figure out what's what here, and at least where I am. Her over there. That's Elisa Devachevskaya. Be careful around her. He spoke in a whisper. Okay, well I didn't whisper that line, so there goes that. Deva means two in Russian. The whole nickname sounds exactly like Tuchin in Russian. A reference to the late... Oh, she's 4chan, okay. Well, 4chan for us. Don't ever risk calling her Dvache. She doesn't like that. She doesn't like being called 4chan. Okay, well, you know. What did you say? What did you call me? Oh, she must have heard him. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's rumbling time. In the blink of an eye, Elisa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards the— Oh, yo, she coming? Alright, you'll manage from here onwards. Electronic took to his heels. Is she gonna beat the crap out of me? Run after him, do nothing. You know, we'll talk to her. Elisa, running past, stopped for a moment and growled. I'll deal with you later. What? Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I had a forced guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made no reply and carried on chasing Electronic. Looks like I'll have to kill time alone, waiting for dinner. I decided to go east. Wait, what's that? Oh, that's my mouse. Oops. What would happen if I chased after him? At least in the direction where east would be in my world. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. A game was in full swing there. I guess watching for it for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood and teen years, I was not a bad player myself, and even thought of going professional, but a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of uncertain chance in the game. Kids of different ages were running around the pitch. I could see a boy of about 10 and a girl about 14 years old. A girl. Hey, that's Ilyana! Alright, so she plays football. What's so surprising? She seems a restless one after all. I was staying quite far from the pitch, but she still noticed me. Hey, you! Ilyana shouted. Wanna play? I didn't know how to answer. On the one hand, running on for 10 minutes is no big deal. On the other hand, any wrong move in my situation could be my final one. Wow, this guy's a wimp. It's literally just sports. But in any case, my attire wasn't suitable for this weather. If I played in winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. And playing barefoot and without jeans would be simply unethical. Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, turned around and walked back. I was followed by Ilyana's screams about my pants or about me being a pansy or something like that. Evening was falling, making me feel tired and empty after a day wasted with no real purpose. I came back to the square, sat down on the bench and gave an exhausted sigh. I'd better sit here and wait for dinner. After all, it's easier to search Francis when you're not hungry. Although I don't know what happened to Electronic there. He's probably getting his ass whooped. They do give food to the people here, right? You know, it's curious how the simplest human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. For example, I feel hungry now, so I care much less about where I am or what is happening to me. Could great people also be affected by this? And in that case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? I can only conclude that I'm not a great person, and it does not really matter which mechanism I serve as a gear in. Society, the Matrix, or a weird pioneer camp. Oy. My thoughts were interrupted by the sound of bells chiming from a loudspeaker on a light pole. It must be the dinner call. I head towards the canteen. It was a good thing that now I knew where it was. I messed it up. Olga was there, standing on the porch. I stopped and looked closely at her as if I was expecting something. She looked back at me for a while, but at last came closer. SunWon, what are you waiting for? Come in already. I guess nothing bad can happen if I go with her. My stomach backed me up here. Oh, there's actually like a lot of people here. Okay. I'm kind of hungry too, so let me just get some of these crackers here. Oh yes, I'll eat to help the immersion. Let's eat too. Everyone start eating. We're all eating now. Dinner today: Skyflakes crackers. Yum, 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 yum. The two of us went inside. The canteen looked like canteen. Oh, astute observation. Honestly, if I had a chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life, this one was exactly the same, just maybe a bit cleaner and more modern. Metal chairs and tables, glazed tiles on the walls and on the floor, unsophisticated tableware with the occasional crack. Guess that's what a canteen in a pioneer camp is supposed to be look like. Oh god. SunWon, wait a moment. We'll find you a place to sit. She looked around the place. Vivatchevskaya, hold it right there. Olga shouted at Elisa, who was passing by. What? What's up with your clothes? Anything wrong with them? Indeed, her attire looks somewhat provocative, as mentioned earlier. Get your uniform nice and neat right now. Alright. Okay. At least I got to shoot right and walk past. Shoot an unpleasant glare at me. So what can we find you a place to sit? There weren't a lot of free seats. Go over there next to Olyana. Maybe yeah, it's fine. The food's already on the table too. I had no other choice but to accept. Okay, in common Russian language, cutlet is minced meat fried or baked in the shape of a ball or a cylinder, close to American patties. Compote is a drink made by boiling fresh or dried fruit in a large amount of water. Compote in French. Oh, that sounds good. Of course, there's a possibility that the cutlets were poisoned with curry, and the mashed potatoes generally seasoned with arsenic, and the glass filled with excellent antifreeze instead of compote. But all looked so tasty that I had no chance to resist. Oh, baited. Hey. What do you want? I replied rather rudely to Uliana, who was sitting next to me. Why am I being so rude to this small child? Why don't you play football with us? Because of my clothes? Said I, pointing at the source of the problem. Oh, alright then. Eat. Wait, what are you gonna do if I answer differently? I guess that's a mystery. And thus I will eat too. Oh. However, there wasn't much left to eat. My cutlet was missing from the plate. Only she could have done it. No, more precisely, none but Oriana could have done it. Can you give me back my cutlet? I'm actually starving, please? In a big family, you snooze, you lose. Bro. Also, Miku's cranking it up again. And cost you a cutlet if you're careless. Oh wait, yeah, that's a good point. Out of all the characters that have shown up, that one Miku character hasn't shown up yet. Get it back, I'm telling you. Bro, I'm gonna take the. Of course, I'm gonna take the cutlet. See, I don't have it. And indeed, Olyana's plate was empty. It seems that this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy, we'll work something out for now. Bro, I'm starving. What do you mean, work something out? You gonna regurgitate for me like a mama bird? She grabbed my plate and ran off. There was no point in following her. If they wanted to poison me here, they could have done it in a much easier way. About a minute later, Olyana returned and handed me the plate with a steaming hot cutlet in it. Okay. Yo, thank goodness. Here's one for the starving. Thank you. That's all I could say. I was so hungry that my suspicions were gone in a flash. I picked up the cutlet with my fork and... What the... Some bug? No, not a bug. An insect. It got legs and it's wiggling. The plate fell to the floor and broke into pieces. The chair hit me hard on my leg while falling. I've disliked insects since I was a kid, but when these creepy crawlies appear on my plate, it's just way too much. Okay, yeah, that's messed up. That's messed up. You little... Olyana seemed ready for such a twist and was already at the door, laughing as if she had just heard a fresh stand-up comedy joke. I dashed after her. Why are you contesting yourself to be worst girl? I don't understand. Why would you do this to yourself? We ran out of the canteen. You don't mess with a man's food. We were just a few dozen meters apart and I felt I would catch this little girl easily. We ran through the square, past the club's house, and ran to the forest path, and I started to gasp for breath. I should have quit smoking again. See? I mentioned it last time. Smoking bad. Smoking bad. Lungs good. Olyana passed out of the sight on the next turn. Am I ever gonna get a proper cutlet? It can't be true that she managed to get away from me. This super athletic small girl and my, like, smoking, unathletic body. Terrible. No, impossible. It simply can't. I stopped and tried to catch my breath again. Night was falling. Looks like I'm lost. It's a bad idea to stay in the woods at night. Better get back to the camp. However, I had absolutely no clue which way to go. Well, I gotta choose at random. I wandered for quite some time in the forest and even thought of crying for help. But finally I saw the camp's fence beyond the trees. Everything fell back into place. The bus is gone, I mumbled quietly. On the one hand, there was nothing strange about that. The bus couldn't just stay there forever. On the other hand, it meant there was someone driving, because buses don't drive themselves. Or do they? This world seemed too normal, but every event here had at least two explanations for it. An ordinary, real, everyday explanation, and a surreal one. Certainly the driver could have just been off for a snack, and I left too soon, and that's why. In any case, this is not the place for me. Whether that bus drives itself was probably an important question, but it was much more important to know how I had got here at all. And where this here was. The fields and the woods stretching towards the horizon had no answers. There's nothing familiar about them. A strange, odd, and alien world. However, at the same time, it was absolutely not frightening. Either my self-preservation instinct decided to resign from its job, or all this running around the camp and the local pioneers had lulled me so much that their carefree normality that I was simply forgetting what had happened to me just a couple of hours ago. Although I probably had just no strength left to worry. All I wanted was some peace, calmness. I wanted to just have a break from it all. And only after that would I continue looking for answers ready and reloaded. However, that would be some time later. And what about now? Can I allow myself to relax? It got completely dark. In any case, it was better to spend the night in the camp. I was about to head back when someone came up silently from behind. Hello, what are you doing here so late? Oh, it's Slavia. Cool. It was Slavia standing before me. I was so surprised that I jumped. So you didn't catch Oleana, did you? She smiled. I nodded disappointedly inside. No wonder. No one ever has. Yeah, she's a real rocket girl. She could have found a better use for her energy than looking for adventures. You must be hungry. You didn't manage to have dinner after all. Yeah, I'm like eating crackers right now. IRL, but you know. Indeed, I had completely forgotten about my hunger. But after these words of hers, my stomach drew attention to itself by giving a traitorous rumble. She smiled. Let's go then. What, is the canteen still open? It's alright, I have the keys. The keys? Yes, I have the keys to all the facilities in this camp. How come? Well, I'm something like the camp leader's aide here. I see. Well, let's go. There's an offer you can't refuse. When we reached the square, Sylviana stopped in her tracks. Excuse me, I should warn my roommate that I'll be late. She's so punctual herself that she'd be worried otherwise. You go into the canteen, I'll come in a minute, alright? Okay. I feel like I'd rather just walk with her to the cabin than walk to the canteen, but I don't know, it's more my style. I really did not expect to find somebody aside from myself there at such a late hour. And that somebody was apparently trying hopelessly to open the door. Without any secret thoughts, I walked out to the porch. The lockpicker turned out to be Elisa. I should have probably kept off and waited. She looked at me intently for a while, then said, "Don't just stand there, give me a hand or something." Meaning? Help me open the door. Why? Because I want some buns and kefir. Dinner wasn't big enough. Is that really a good idea? Aren't you hungry yourself, huh? Oh yeah, I didn't let you have a normal dinner, did she? She smiled sarcastically. That's true, she didn't. It's fine. Sylvana will come now and, what? Guess I shouldn't have said that. I'm off then. And you'll pay for this. I didn't, at least I didn't do anything. You owe me 2 already. What do I owe you? And what was the first one? Sylvana didn't keep me waiting for too long. Oh, nice, thank you. Is everything alright? Yeah, why are you asking? No, Ethan, it's nothing. It would be better if I didn't tell her about Elisa. I kinda should, though. I'm not tattle or nothing, just, you know. Everything's fine. I said that and immediately heard a note of dishonesty in my voice. Well, shall we go? As for Slavia, she seemed not to have noticed anything. Or at least she was pretending she hadn't. We entered the canteen. Wait a bit, I'll go get something. I sat down in a chair and obediently waited for my savior. My dinner was simple, a few buns and a glass of kefir. No wonder, I bet hungry pioneers finished everything off. However, even that was far better than most of my usual diet. Slavia sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. Is there something on my face? No, oh, she's looking straight at me! Jesus. She smiled. So how'd you like your first day in the camp? I don't like that she's looking straight at me while saying this. Well, I don't really know. Silly to ask someone who suddenly found himself in a different reality, whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or his assigned hut. It's alright, you'll soon get used to it. Slavia stared out the window dreamily. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. At least she wants me to think that she doesn't. Well, all in all, it's nice here. I'll just somehow break the awkward silence. Do you think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is, so... I want to say retro, but I managed to hold that back. After all, it's retro for me, but what about them? It might be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. So, how? She watched me closely. As if something important depended on my answer. Well, I don't know. Lovely, yeah, I guess it's lovely here. I guess you're right. Oh, she's looking at me again. Staring straight into my soul. Goodness gracious. She smiled again. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everybody likes it here. And what about you? Me? Yes. I love it here, it's great. She's looking straight at me, why? You don't need to worry about what other people think. Well, I don't really worry. She laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to get to. And you're worried yourself. Really? Why do you say so? Well, when someone is chewing so intensely... Oh, wait, let me start eating too. Yep, immersion. I'm sorry. It's okay. I couldn't bring myself to be more cautious around this girl. Why her in particular? Why not any other local inhabitant? Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal. So normal that it sends chills down my spine into my marrow. Normal, not like a neighbor with a power drill in one hand and a subwoofer in the other. Not like a passenger you can often meet in a subway or on public transport. Not like a coworker at the next table in the open plan office. Not even like a friend who only differs from other humans in his constant insistence. All of them look normal, as if I would expect them to be, with their own downsides but without any superpowers. And Flavia was also cute? I glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry. I wanted to show you the camp, but it ran off my feet. I didn't miss anything while on my own, I guess. Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all? She smiled so brightly that I had to drop my eyes in confusion. Well, how would I know? It's my first day here. Okay, what have you seen so far? I've seen the square, this canteen, the football field. And what about the beach? Just from afar. You really should go there. Oh, let's do it together. Yeah, okay, we will. Her naturalness started to scare me, but then I thought, what if everything that happens here is how it's supposed to be, and this world looks strange only to me? Well, for them it is normal? Maybe I was thrown into the past? Yes, that would explain a lot. Can I ask a stupid question? No. Another no. She smiled and stood up from the table. It's late. Can you find a way to Olga's by yourself? Of course I can, but why should I go there? She'll sell you with someone. What for? Probably this question seems stupid because Slavia burst into good-natured laughter. You need to sleep somewhere, right? That makes sense. Fine, I'll be off then. Good night. Night. It's strange that she left in such a hurry. A bundle of keys left in the door lock caught my attention. I was gonna catch up with Slavia, but where does she live? And knocking on every door during the middle of the night didn't seem like a bright idea. I should take the keys. I better take them. I'll give them back tomorrow because who knows what happens here at night. Yeah, we don't want someone else to take the keys. Such thoughts gave me chills. It's me who needs to be careful here in the first place. The night dark wasn't silent at all. One can hear chirping crickets, the songs of the nights, birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. A sudden desire to follow Slavia's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin appeared. I don't know why, but the sight of the unknown bronze builder of the communism put me here in a constructive mood. What? Oh my god, I read that completely wrong, but oh well. I sat on the bench and started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. He was much brighter than near the canteen, and tardy pioneers were running by, so this place didn't seem scary at all. Bus, summer camp, girls. I was so tired from everything new and strange that I couldn't come up with a single explanation for what was going on. I heard a barely noticeable rustle nearby. I shivered and looked in that direction. A girl, reading a book. Lena. I decided to move closer and talk. She's the only new person I met here without exchanging even a few words. Hey, what are you eating? Lena was so surprised that she even jumped. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Never mind. She blushed and stared at the book again. So, what are you eating? On the cover was written, Gone with the Wind. Raise the book, keep silent. I don't really know much about books, so I feel like I would just be like, oh yeah, that's neat. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits it very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you... No. All these no's. She answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? And really, why? Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. And maybe I want to try to find something out from her. I'm supposed to go to the camp person and get a room to sleep. I'm literally gonna have no room to sleep if I don't... whatever. I carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that... Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to? Feel free. But if I'm bothering you... No, you're not. I can leave. Just say everything's alright. Okay then. I sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it wouldn't be nice to just stand up and leave. That really didn't go well, huh? She hasn't answered anything. Seems I made a fool out of myself. So, nothing out of the usual. I bet if Oliana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Do you enjoy being here? I recalled the Slavia's question and thought it would be a good start for a conversation. Yes. She smiled slightly. I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable and probably can't carry on a meaningless conversation as easily as Slavia. But there was something about her that attracted attention. Like a momentary glimpse of a reflection in the glass on a rainy autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into darkness, searching for something that you saw out of the corner of your eye. Of course you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it felt so tempting. And I was still reading the book without paying any attention to my presence. I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp or this world in general. Beautiful night. Yes. How in the world would you start a conversation with her? It's late, I have to go. It is so awkward. I can actually feel the tension. Yes, it's quite late. Okay. Good night. Night. There was something strange about this girl. At first glance, she is a typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Lena took its own place in the massive list of mysteries about this camp, which I had started to put together in my head. A lazy evening. There's nothing like a good time with nothing to do. I head towards Olga's cabin. Finally. The light in the house was on. Hello, SunWon. You're quite late. Yeah. I went for a walk to look around the camp. Alright. You'll be sleeping here. Huh? With you, Olga? Okay. She pointed her finger at one of the beds. Right here. Oh god, the painting's still there. Jeez. Oh no, I hate it. I hate it. I was a bit surprised. Yeah, is something wrong? We are out of free cabins anyways. The camp leader smiled, but I rather think it's politeness. You do want to be a decent pioneer, don't you? There's a clear emphasis on the word decent. Yep, sure. I was lost in thought for a moment. Don't you mind it, mademoiselle? Ay, why am I saying words like this? She looked at me oddly, with surprise and some offense in her eyes. A pioneer should respect their elders, Olga said strictly. Of course he should, no one argues with that. I blabbered, not realizing what was wrong. Shouldn't you also? She stared at me. Under such a gaze, even mithril forged by the best dwarf masters from the deepest dungeons would melt. Should I what? Oh, this is me not realizing that I've been turned into a child. What's up? Oh god, no. Even as the same age, no. That's you're cringe. You're cringe. Why are you being cringe? No. He's uttering cringe. I'm about to lose viewers. This is terrible. Annoyance and a lack of understanding made me raise my voice. You must address adults appropriately. Yes, of course, there are a lot of strange things here, but this girl is just a couple years older than me. Or maybe even younger. But I decided not to argue with just a few minutes ago I would never have called her an adult. I have to admit that she was also given a strong character. In any case, I wasn't in any position to argue. As you say, ma'am. Okay. Beta it is. I mumbled. That's much better. That's how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. And now it's time to sleep. Honestly speaking, I was become neither a decent nor an indecent pioneer. Just yesterday I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all. But do I have a choice now? If you don't want to, we'll have to make you. This is the motto Olga Dmitrievna was probably going to use. I climbed onto the bed and closed my eyes only to realize how tired I was after today. Something hammered in my head awfully, as if my brains had started a night shift, and they seemed to be aimed more at rolling steel than working on something more sensitive. The bus flew through my mind. And the square with the monument, the canteen full of pioneers, and the malicious face of Uliana, Slavia, Lena, and even recalling Elisa didn't give me too much of a negative feeling. What if I'm here for good? And where's the Miku girl? Oh god, what's these? Day 2. Man, it's already been like has it already almost been like 2 hours? Yeah, wow, we've been playing this game for like 2 hours. I was having a dream. Seems like I was in some kind of vacuum. Okay, that means I'll stop after on day 3 I'll stop. It seemed like I was in some kind of vacuum with nothing but nothing around me. But not only around, I was the only creature in the universe. As if the universe had returned to a state of singularity right before the Big Bang. And something was just about to happen. Suddenly I heard a voice. I could not make out the words, but it sounded familiar. The voice was whispering something gently as if soothing me. And then I realized it was the voice of that strange girl from the bus. The girl from the dream. But what is she trying to tell me? Who is she? Is the strange girl Miku? I woke up. Bright sunlight struck my eyes. It was almost noon. Oh yeah, I slept in a bit late. After stretching lazily on the bed and yawning, I started to recall the previous day. In a few seconds, all its events passed before my eyes. The bus, the camp, the local inhabitants. No, that's just wrong. Not this whole situation, not me being here. It was wrong by default. My attitude towards what was happening was wrong. Because yesterday I fell asleep here just like that, and before that I chatted nicely with the local pioneers, even managed to crack a few jokes. How could I act like that in such a situation? I should be frightened, startled by every little rustling. Should avoid all contact with the potentially hostile creatures. The last day's events were all getting hazy, like I had a hangover. This really feels like the morning after a heavy drinking party. Yesterday's natural, flawless, absolutely normal conduct becomes a nightmare in the morning. A grotesque illustration from the Divine Comedy. Yes, it's just like that, and I can't change the past now. Then again, I had probably assessed the situation and was acting accordingly. I glanced around trying to figure out whether I'd been thrown somewhere else, but Olga Dmitrievna's cabin looked the same as yesterday. Everything seemed to be in place except for a pioneer uniform, which was hanging from the bedhead. I fumbled with it in distrust and tried it on. At least this is better than walking around in winter clothes. Wish I could see myself, but I look like a clown. And for that I need a mirror. I see a mirror to the right, actually, in this little thing. At least a tiny one. They finally found one on the wardrobe door. Okay, that's the one we're talking about. Holy! I looked at the new-found pioneer and jumped away in surprise. There was some teenager on the other side of the mirror. He resembled me, but he wasn't me. Where did the weak stubble go? Where did the bags under my eyes? The slouch, that deathly fatigue on my face? It seemed that I had not been thrown back in time or into a parallel reality, but instead had simply changed bodies with someone else. Right, that's real simple. Such things happen every day. I took a close look at this stranger and only then I realized it was actually me. It just wasn't today's me, maybe the one from between my school and university years. Oh boy. Finally I realized. Well, at least that's something. There you go, the person in a extreme situation did fail to notice the elephant in the room after all. But the camp leader noticed it, and last night she told me off for addressing her without proper respect. Ah, screw that. I doubt my appearance affects anything else. If the clock was not lying, breakfast was long over. Oh well, I'll try to find something in the canteen. It worked out well yesterday with Slavia, didn't it? Those memories made me smile involuntarily. The sun was shining brightly outside. A light breeze was blowing. Beautiful summer day. I had not felt so good in the morning for several years. All problems were gone, vanished in the clouds that were white as snow. Olga came out of nowhere. Good morning, SunWon. Morning? I smiled, doing my best to show that no matter what, my morning was indeed good. You only arrived yesterday, so I decided not to wake you up, but, breakfast. Never mind. Here, take this. She handed me something wrapped in paper. Judging by the oily stains, there had to be sandwiches inside. Oh, thank you. Oh, she saved me some sandwiches. How nice. Now go wash yourself. I was about to leave. Wait a second. Olga quickly ran into the house and came out to shove a small bag in my hands. Inside it, I found a toothbrush, soap, a small towel, and something else. I had not looked too closely. A pioneer should always be clean and tidy. You are correct. Let me do your neckerchief properly this first time. Yours is askew. You should do it yourself once you learn how to. Do we have to? I'm gonna wash myself now. Yeah, right. It could get hooked on the tap and strangle me. Fine. Later then. And don't forget about the lineup. Pencils, paper, drawing lines. You don't forget such things. What lineup? What do you mean, what lineup? She frowned. It's Monday today. Weird by my approximation, it should have been Sunday. And by my actual approximation, it's actually Friday, but, you know. Then again, a shift in the day of the week is hardly the worst thing. Usually we have lineups early in the morning before breakfast, but it's Monday today, so we're having it at 12 o'clock. Don't be late. Oh, that's convenient. Alright, but where? It's the square, isn't it? At the square. Where else? Yep, of course. Why'd I even ask that? There's no reason to argue. I head to the bathing place. I knew I could forget about separate showers and a toilet, but at the sight of this malfunctioning symptom of decaying socialism, a funny turtle with a tin shell, paw taps, and a ceramic belly, I felt sick. Oh, this is a shower. I was not a squeamish person, but nevertheless, standing there, I realized that there was still some minimal level of habitual comfort, which I found it troublesome to do without. It's often like that. When you lose things that you thought were ordinary and common, you suddenly understand just how essential they were. Ah, screw this, as if I have any choice. The water was ice cold. Washing my hands was not an issue. Washing my face and my mouth became a big problem. There was no toothpaste in the bag which Olga gave me. I could brush my teeth without it, but there was a small round box wrapped in a towel. Tooth powder. Cute. 1 point for me being somewhere in the past. I washed myself quite quickly, and also due to ice cold water. Someone was coming quickly, or more like running towards me. I turned around, and it's Slavia, dressed in the normal Adidas outfit. Tracksuit, yes. This girl would probably look good in anything. Pioneer uniform, bikini, probably even a spacesuit. Hey there. Oh, you're being cringe again. Ohio. I mean, what's up? Good morning, yes. Oh yeah, real smooth. Why don't you come for breakfast? I overslept. I said as if I was proud about it. But Olga gave me some sandwiches. Oh great then, don't forget about the lineup. Yeah, sure. As if I could forget. Wait, I gotta run. Enjoy yourself. She waved goodbye to me and disappeared around the path's bend. Looks like it's a couple minutes until lineup. I should quickly pass by my home to drop off my washing bag and eat the sandwiches and head to the square. I swung open the door of the camp leader's cabin and rushed inside, as if jumping into the last car of a departing train. It didn't turn out to be the best idea because inside I found Olga, who was changing. I froze on the spot, trying not to breathe. Finally, the camp leader noticed me. SunWon! I looked away immediately. Have you heard of knocking? Now get out! Yeah, that was real clumsy. Although I did enjoy the sight. Okay, well, alright. Olga followed me out in a minute. Here, take this. Now it is your home too. She handed me a key. I put it in my pocket. Home. Of course, if you disregard how fantastical the current events were, this camp was far from being the worst place on Earth. But to call it home, just after one day spent here, I doubt I'll ever be able to do so. Which actually reminds me, I do need to give the keys back to Slavia. Don't know why I haven't done that yet. Alright, let's go. We're late. What about sandwiches? Just eat them on the way. We were passing along lines of the pioneers' cabins while I was stuck into the ham sandwiches. And Olga kept on talking and talking. She was buzzing like a game of Operation with Parkinson's. But I cared about nothing but the food. Understood? Huh? You weren't listening! Oh, sorry. Today is the first day of your new life as a pioneer. And you should do your best so it becomes a happy life. Okay? Ah, yeah, definitely. I'm serious. A pioneer has many duties, great responsibilities conferred upon him to participate in social work, to help his juniors, to study, and study, and study again. We here are all like one big family, and you'll become part of it. Yeah, part. I've seen a sign a party membership card, if it could save me from listening to this nonsense. I feel like I read that wrong. Hope that after your term here is over, you keep the most pleasant memories about our camp. Memories that will last your whole life. And when will this term end? Why do you keep asking silly things? It seems I won't get any information from her. A shame, really. The world appears to be so friendly, but never bothered to introduce itself to me. Perhaps now I can take things somewhat easier than yesterday? It seems like I have some unspoken ceasefire with it. It isn't trying to hurt me, but I'm forbidden from asking questions. Of course the situation isn't a pleasant one, but what can I do about it? A bad peace is better than a good dispute. The most important thing for you now is to make the best out of the time you'll spend here. I'll do my best. Honestly, I was very tired of this conversation. It'd be good to know where that here is, but we came to the square. Did I wake up or something and say, it was all a dream? Or something like that, and I'd bus gonna crash or something, you know. The pioneers were already lined up. What, is somebody not here yet? Is it Elisa? Nope, all here. She looked around her brave pioneer troops. Alright, go stand somewhere. Weird. Why'd she tell me there are no more sleeping places? Black-haired girl. That's new. While the chief was running her mouth about our plans for the week, I stared at the people. A few heads away from me stood Electronic. A little further, Lana and Slavia. She looked like she's kind of crying a bit. And at the end line, Uliana and Elisa. Everyone I had met was here. Well, who is this black-haired girl? You can't just throw her in this picture of all the people I know. Olga spoke about some competitions to turn my attention to the monument. Genda. I cannot remember any revolutionary with a similar name. He had a weird posture too, as if he was looking around with distrust, maybe contempt or even disdain. Probably some local leader. Daydreaming again? Slavia brought me back to reality. Olga stood nearby. Still remember the plan for the week? The plan? I'll never forget the plan, whatever the plan is. Perfect. She looked at Slavia. Did you bring it? Yes. Slavia handed me a piece of paper. It's a checklist. Here are 4 tasks to check off. Do it all today. Before you start, sign up for a club. There are some clubs in the clubhouse and a musical club in the separate building. Then, visit the infirmary. And finally, visit the library. Got it? Yep, got it. The checklist seemed like a good chance to find out something, since I had to go places I haven't been before. Then come on, start right away, right now. What about lunch? Don't worry, I'll bring you more sandwiches. The checklist is more important. Good luck. They departed too fast for me to ask anything else. Missed breakfast, now I'll miss lunch too. This ain't good. Maybe I'll manage in the time somehow? Lunch starts at 1 p.m. Then again, if I go there, I might miss a place from the checklist. Okay, it's too early to go to the canteen anyways. Oh. One moment. Just one moment. How do I fix this? Okay, give me a moment. Sorry, just fixing a little something here. What would we change this to? Okay, there we go. Oh, I can go to places. Actually, I mean, I've been going for 2 hours. Maybe now is a good time to stop it, and then we'll just I suppose we'll pick up another time. We'll figure out where we want to go and who we want to see. Other than that, I guess yeah. I mean, we'll just find a place to go next time. Hopefully, I don't forget where I'm supposed to go. We'll save here as well if I didn't already save. Oh, I have to press save. I always forget I have to press save game too. Anyways, yeah. That'll be it from me. Once again, SunWon. Gonna close out. Thanks for everybody who's come today to watch. I'll continue the game another day. Probably not on Monday. I think on Monday I'm gonna continue. I'll try and finish Sludge Life. Well, play a bit more Sludge Life. And then yeah, I mean sometime on maybe Tuesday or Wednesday I'll play this game again. And I'll try and play new games next week too. Other than that, thank you so much and take care. Bye everyone.